This is Overtime with Matty.
And welcome back to our latest episode of our podcast here, Overtime with Matty, as part of our PMN show, Pacific Grandstand. You can catch us on a Saturday morning here at 8 o'clock on 531 PI. I'm your host, Willie Poaching. This is our co-host, Matt Manukoa. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have a very special guest, Samoan swimmer and upcoming Olympian Kaiya Brown.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. Yes.
Yeah, excited to have you. Thank you for joining us and in our new humble abode. We're talking about it off here, but how special is it to have you here, an Olympian, a future Olympian. You're going to be Olympian soon. Talk us a little bit about what you do and what you're heading over to Paris Olympics for.
Yeah, so I've been swimming for 10 years now, competitive swimming, and I started swimming with the Samoa team in 2019 at the Pacific Games in our home country. And I'm a specialist in sprint freestyle, so I do the nice and short, quick, easy races. And so I'm going to go over and do the 50-metre freestyle.
So go back to the start of it. How did you get into swimming? What attracted you to swimming? Was it something that mum and dad thought this is a life skill you needed to learn and you fell in love with it? Or was it something that friends did? How did you come across swimming?
Yep. So I started just learning to swim. I think it's really important that we all have to learn to swim, especially when you're young. You start off young, and everyone around you is kind of in the water. You can't really go without this skill, and it's something that you have to do in summer. It's something that kind of just came naturally to my parents. That kind of pushed me into it, and then from there, I kind of got pushed into competitive swimming. Wasn't really my choice, but here we are. And I fell in love with the sport and still doing it 10 years later.
It's never the kids' choice. It's always the parents that push the kids to do the sport.
Yeah.
My dad forced us into rugby league, and we started to love it. So how did you develop a love for swimming? Getting into it at a young age. Advised by your parents, but what was how did you find a connection to swimming? Yeah,
I think it was just from the beginning. There's a lot of ups and downs with swimming. A lot of hours in the pool, cold mornings. You sometimes really don't want to get in, but just kind of knowing that you do really enjoy it and the people around you are a really big help in that kind of way. And especially with swimming, it's a big solo sport, but also a really big community sport. You really have to connect with the people around you, and that's kind of what really brought me into liking the sport so much, and having a good community around me.
You talk about the early mornings.
Jeez.
When did they start? When did it really turn into something more than just a casual swim? And talk us a bit about what your regime looked like.
Yep. So when I was first starting out, I did most mornings, and it was hard for me as a little 10, 11, 12-year-old. And then from there, I kind of dropped out of mornings because I really did not like it. But I really got pushed. I have a really good coach, and he really pushed for me to keep training, to do mornings, to do all the hard work that kind of got me here, and really grateful for that, obviously. But it's really hard to get up in the mornings. 5:30 mornings aren't my favourite. So recently, when I finished high school, I started doing later, still early mornings, but later mornings to help me keep motivated, so I don't have to get up at 5:30.
Was there ever a time where you did mornings and then after school?
Yep. So at the beginning, I really did do both. But during the end of my high school, I kind of really only focused on afternoon trainings. Did mornings a few times a week for gym sessions and places where I didn't have to get in the pool. It kind of just changed on the year and the day and the week because it's so flexible, which is also a really good thing for me. Getting bored very easily with all these trainings, but again, with the people. And now I'm doing mornings and nights. And
you talk about starting when you were 10, and I dare say that this progressed through to your early teens when you weren't driving.
Yeah.
So I take it that it was mum and dad.
Oh, yes, every morning.
Took you to all your training sessions, and how important was their help and influence?
Yeah, so important. They pushed me to do everything, to do my best, and obviously they're Uber drivers, they're cooks, chefs, everything. So I'm really grateful for them and pushing me into the sport as well, because I wouldn't have done it if it was just my choice. But obviously now I do, and it's all up to me. The motivation's a big one. But yeah, they really started me out.
So talking a bit about your family, do you have a big family? How's your makeup of your
Yes, massive family. So my immediate family, I have one younger brother, but then my extended family, they're all really into sports. They've all really inspired me to keep going with sports. A lot of them are and have been, big athletes and have always been in the sport sector. So it's really cool to kind of also be in that sector and continue with the sporting genes.
Yeah, that's always cool when you have family that's involved in sport.
Yeah.
Because when you have those family gatherings and stuff, you can talk to them or chat sport or chat about things. A little bit of competitive edge too, where you compare with your cousins or your family. What sports are you doing? And
who's
getting up earlier? Me or you? And so is any of your family like represented or has represented? Either other countries or your heritage in any sports?
Yes, so a lot of them, not that, but yeah, a lot of them have in lots of different sports. So obviously, you. And then gymnastics, dancing, there football, soccer, everything, basketball. So. Yes, and my brother, who has just been selected for another Samoa team, which I'm very, very excited for him. So.
And both your grandfathers were athletic. One played rugby league, and did a bit of boxing and wrestling, and your other grandfather represented Fiji at football. So it truly does run in your genes.
Yes.
Do you think that was a help? Did you think?
Oh, I think so.
That if it wasn't sport, if it wasn't swimming, that it would have been another sport?
Yeah, I think eventually I would have got into something. Sport has always been really big for our family, and starting off young, I tried a lot of other sports. I'm not that coordinated with a ball, so I'm kind of happy that I got into swimming. But my granddad from my father's side, he was very into trying everything. So I think that's where my brother gets his very athletic ability, that he can try anything. So he competed at the Pacific Games in football and basketball, and then he also played hockey and every other sport under the sun. So I think it's really cool that my family do a lot of different sports, and that eventually would have led me into another pathway. But swimming is where I ended up.
And your brother, as you said, he's playing for Samoa at the moment, and the football side of sport, and he's representing his mum's side. But your dad's side is Fijian.
Yes.
Was there an opportunity to represent them, and how did you come about choosing Samoa and going with that side?
Yeah, so Samoa actually came to me, which was really cool. I never really thought about going big, but obviously my parents really did when pushed for it. And so starting off at a young age, they kind of always thought that I would do something good with swimming. And so Samoa kind of came to me right before the Pacific Games came on and asked if I could come on their team and join them. And I said, of course I would. So yeah, I was really grateful for that kind of recognition, and something that doesn't really come around every day. But yeah.
So was that a real turning point for you to take it seriously and try and take the next step?
Yeah. And especially because it was home Pacific Games, that there was a lot of eyes watching. But yeah, it was really exciting to kind of go into the international little push.
We'll start off with the Pacific Games, but walking out at the opening as a Samoan representative on the Samoan team at the Pacific Games in Samoa.
Yep.
How was that when you walk out of the opening ceremony?
Yeah, that was unreal. It was a crazy experience, and something that, especially in home soil, that the crowd just goes wild, and it's kind of just a really different experience. Nothing that you can really ever imagine going into it. But yeah, it was really dope.
Yeah, I thought that'll be unreal. Just that opportunity to not only represent your heritage and your family, but going back in your home country where you sort of have a connection to the land, you have a connection to the people as well. Did you have any nerves, going into the games, and did you, have any? Or what was your preparations like prior to receiving that big opportunity?
Yeah. So I was one of the youngest on the swimming team.
Wow.
I was the youngest girl, I believe, and just the experience was kind of crazy, very nerve-wracking, especially when you're 15, I believe it was. So very young, and the nerves. I think it was good because I was so young and they didn't really get to me that much. It was just the experience of being there that I was really excited about. But the preparation was crazy, nothing that I had ever really thought about until I was going into it. Lots and lots of training, lots of hours in the pool, out of the pool. But I was just really excited. I'm not too nervous.
Yeah. Was it your first time back home?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. And were you greeted by some of the family there? And
It was unbelievably so loud, and the atmosphere was crazy, especially in swimming because we had won our first few medals. Nice. In swimming as well, my teammates were amazing that year, and that kind of brought the attention to swimming, which we really appreciated, and just having all the more supporters was crazy.
From being the youngest member in the team in 2022, you go to the Pan Pacs in Hawaii with a young team.
Yes.
But this time you're the captain.
Yes.
Tell us about being the leader of the group.
That was a big.
Whilst
that was
it's
a big
an
jump.
individual sport, being the captain of the team environment.
Yeah. So I jumped from being the youngest, and then COVID happened, so we had a few years off. I took a few years off swimming as well, a year or so, and then got straight back into it. So 2022, I got asked to go to Hawaii for the Junior Pan Pacific Games, and then I was suddenly the oldest in the team, which was crazy to me. And it kind of just is really thinking about everyone else on your team as well, because it, as well as it is an individual sport, having your teammates are one of the biggest influences in the sport. And I was just really grateful that my team were really, really easy to work with, and they just, showed me the best that they could do. And it was really exciting being the captain of my first, out of COVID team. So,
did you learn a lot about yourself as a leader and as a senior figure of the team?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it was also my first year out of high school, so I was kind of just, lost with everything, starting university, and it was cool seeing the leadership side come out of me, and hopefully it stayed there.
So you go from school into university.
Yes.
As a student still, trying to juggle full-time swimming. Talk about some of the sacrifices you've had to make and how hard it is funding-wise to survive as a swimmer.
Yeah. So straight out of high school, I went into full-time university. So I'm studying at AUT, doing sport management, so keeping it in the industry, something that I want to give back to swimming is really important. And as a student, I am also coaching part-time, so I can fund this very expensive hobby, very expensive lifestyle. So still swimming full-time, coaching, and full-time university, which is a lot. But I think it's really important that I was doing something that I really enjoyed as part of my work. And coaching, obviously, my swimming, giving back to the younger kids is something that I really enjoy. And I'm really grateful that I get to do it as a job. But funding-wise, swimming isn't a huge sport. And I think Pacific Games was really an eye-opening for a lot of the other sports. So we do have a lot of effort to give and a lot of potential. So funding is tight sometimes, but we're really grateful for what we do get, and so we're hoping for as much as we can. So
You're thinking a water-based sport, eh? For Pacific Islanders, I guess there should be a lot more funding.
We're surrounded by water.
So we're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Our ancestors, sailed in great oceans, and it's a
We're
part of our
connected by
life.
the sea.
We're connected by the sea. That's I'm surprised that there's not as much funding that goes into water-based sports. But keeping on that topic of water-based sports, and you being a Pacifica woman yourself, how tight is the community that are part of those swimming and another water-based sports? I keep saying water-based sports, but water-based sports, because some of my family, they my older cousin, she represented New Zealand in water polo, and my cousins Caleb and Jared represented, did some swimming out in South Auckland as well. But it was a really small, tight-knit community. Could you to us a little bit about, the small Pacific community involved in your sports.
Yeah, so the Pacific community is amazing, especially with all the other islands. We don't get to see each other every day, every week, all the competitions that we do in our home countries. But when we do get to see each other, it is really exciting. There aren't many of us, but we do get along really well, and I think that's one of the coolest parts of internationally swimming with each other, is that we do get to come together every so often and see each other. The community is awesome. We're all so supportive of each other, and I look forward to seeing all of them all the time.
That's me.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, I get a message that Kaiya's put something on social media. She's going to the Olympics. Tell us about that phone call or the message that you get and the confirmation that you'll be going to Paris. Tell us about the emotions you felt and how excited you were to get that.
It just kind of all hit me at once. So I found out at lunchtime that day. Didn't tell anyone because I wanted to tell my parents in person first. I kind of just waited around all this excitement to myself, just waiting to see my parents. So I'd gone to training that day, told my coach because I need him to know. But kind of just waiting to see my parents, and that was really, really special.
And how was the feedback on social media? It must have been some real support from outside the family as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I made my phone calls before my Samoa team posted their big announcement. So I made phone calls to my friends, some family, text messages to some people, and then they posted. So it was all in from there. Everyone could see. But the feedback was amazing. I got so many messages and really supportive comments and things like that, which is cool. And because I reposted something, it was even cooler just seeing the people who don't follow me or don't know who I am message me as well, which was really exciting. Getting the audience there.
So after the initial excitement, does it feel real now? Is it real?
Still kind of surreal. Kind of just don't know really what to do with myself. Kind of just waiting around and seeing what's going to happen. But it's still really exciting and something that probably I won't get over until I'm there. But
has training changed in the last 2 days?
Not so much change. Still in the process of just getting ready to go. Because you have to just keep training for something that will happen. So we've been in training for a while now, and so just kind of still in the process of getting there. And
Just to give us an idea, if this was my sport of rugby league and we had a game or a tour coming up, our conditioning block would be now, and then we start doing some tactical stuff and putting our game plan together, and getting close to the game, we'll taper off. How does your plan look from here on to when you take the pool in Paris?
So my race is in about a month or so. So I race on the 3rd of August. So from now we work backwards usually. So the week before we go into taper, and then we've got a harder week before that, just to get you used to working really hard, and then you can have a week off and then go straight back into your training, to racing. So usually we work backwards, working on skills development, all the hard stuff, the boring stuff. I'm really excited to keep going with it. We've been training hard for about 6 months now, which is exciting, and so.
You said at the start, you're a sprinter. You do the 50 metres and sometimes 100. Does that equate to your training? Do you train short, or do they get you in the pool and just, run you, but just make you swim length after length?
So it's still changes on the day, but a lot of my training is sprint related. I do the short sharp stuff. So a lot of the distance swimmers will do very long hours, long training sessions. They'll do so many more kilometers than I do, but I'll do mostly sprints and trainings. Still with the long sets and training sessions, but mostly sticking to my sprints. Some days will be longer than others. Some days will be shorter. But
is there any other training techniques or training methods that you implement outside of the pool, in the gym or running? Or
Yeah. So obviously swimming sometimes twice a day, but we have got into a more gym-based program as well. So I've been going to the gym, also doing dryland sessions, just keeping busy every day.
That is
Dryland,
busy.
Dryland.
Yeah, dryland.
Yeah, that's positive.
Dryland.
Dryland.
Yeah.
Water-based dry.
Yeah, what about
Water-based dryland. Keep it good ratio between But yeah, I was just going to ask. Come the day when you compete, or in general in days when you compete, do you have a routine that you go through, and from the time that you prepare, when you wake up to when you race? Could you talk us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so obviously it's all different depending on the situation and how many races, where I'm at, how many people I'm with. And so when we go to our international meets, it's really important for all of us to eat together in the morning. We'll have devotion. It's a big thing with Pacific Islanders that we start off our day together, and that we do come together in the morning right before our race to just be with each other and count our blessings and thank each other for being there with just waiting around and sitting there, because obviously it is a long process, and we all race on different days, so that's kind of how we start off our morning. My competition day is usually 2 to 3 hours before I race is when I start my day. Get to the pool, a lot of stretching, a lot of warm-up. Start off in the pool about an hour and a half before and get right into the zone. It's very busy on pool deck, especially the competition week, but it's just the great atmosphere that kind of keeps you going, and is really exciting, really really lively, and something that I look forward to is the atmosphere around the pool. But yeah, it's nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's just kind of being with the pool and seeing where you're going to be for the hopefully very short race that you're gonna do. Mm-hmm.
Is there an excitement as soon as you wake up? It's swim day we're on. It's race day today.
Yeah, it's go time. It's all in now. Yeah.
Does anybody walk around with a game face?
Oh yeah, they're all just like so ready to go, and I don't think I have that seriousness. But yeah.
Do you talked a bit about being together as a team, at the start of the day, having devotion and stuff like that. But for yourself, being in the Samoan team, do you think that, or has it been a good way for you to connect with your culture and embrace your heritage?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we really do with our island teams, even if we come together with the other ones. Sometimes we'll have breakfast with Tonga or Fiji or someone.
Wow.
So I think it's really cool that we do get to embrace our culture and each other's. So yeah, it's really cool to see that, especially when we're out of the country, thousands of miles away. So
have you learnt a lot about yourself and your family?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. It's been a really cool past 6-7 years. 5 years. So yeah, learning all about it is really cool, and seeing where everything started and all the swimming and sports and everything.
So now that it's confirmed, Paris, what are you most excited about?
Oh, being away. Can't wait. The facilities look amazing. Yeah. I've seen them all over social media. Can't wait to see everything in person.
I've seen this online that the French government was pushing to swim in that lake.
Yeah.
So the same.
Yeah.
But the sea's pretty brown. At the moment, so has that been in the chats of you guys as water?
Oh yeah, pass. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Yes. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, no, not going. Yeah, just happy that I'm not doing open water swimming.
Will it be your first time in Paris?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. First time in Europe, which will be exciting. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
You've been very fortunate to travel around the world through swimming. We spoke about Hawaii, but you went to Doha, and obviously all throughout the Pacific, Japan. Favourite place to compete?
I think it might have been Japan, which was so fun. So I went to Fukuoka July of last year, so this time last year, which was really exciting. Really, really wanted to visit Asia, which was really cool, and their facilities were amazing. They put on a really good show for us, and we're really grateful that we did get to go, and the there was a team of 4 of us, which was really cool. And yeah.
With the Olympics, with these games and some of these individual sports, obviously back here you have your personal coach that you work with, that you've spoken to. You told them the other day, one of the first to hear that you were going to the Olympics.
Yep.
Will they go with you, or will Samoa have a separate coach?
Yep, so my Samoa coach will come with us. So we will be a team of 3. So there'll be me, my teammate Johan, and my coach Susie. So we have been to a few meets together. My coach, who is based here, so he'll just message me and talk me through my just kind of whatever I need from here and watching from home. But yeah, so I have my separate Samoa coach who is awesome. She does so much for me. So very excited.
Spoken to Johan?
Yes.
How excited is he?
He's very excited. Jumping around, we're both very excited to go. Yeah, can't wait to see them.
There's not been many Samoan swimmers at the Olympic Games. Do you see yourselves in an opportunity to inspire others to go forward and grow the number of swimmers in the future?
Definitely, yeah. We are really pushing for grassroots levels, especially in Samoa. So we're hoping to really push our names out there to get everyone started in swimming, especially in the Pacific Islands. It's really important to learn from a young age. You are surrounded by water, and so we kind of really want to push the starting with swimming and just learning how to swim. We've got an amazing little grassroots program back in Samoa, so we're hoping that it kind of pushes for everyone to go look at it.
And there's some amazing facilities there now.
Yep,
And
awesome.
A little bit what Matt was talking about. I suppose you can do a little bit more in the water than just bomb.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the facilities over there are amazing. We've got a massive 50-metre Olympic-sized pool, indoor, outdoor, everything. So, yeah, there are amazing facilities, people to teach. They're, all ready to go.
If, when we tune in and you have to the Olympics and when you're racing or when we're watching swimming, do you have any tips for, the novice, what's it, water sport watcher when we're watching you race? Do you have any tips for people that might be watching?
Yep. Oh, just keep going. It's really hard to start off, and you think that it'll take forever, but it's really important that you do keep trying and you do keep going. It's something that you need to learn, and everyone should be really excited to watch us race and watch what they can do as well.
And when you get to Paris, and there's other Pacific teams, other Pacific athletes as well, will there be, or do you know if there'll be like a network of you guys that will maybe get together during your time over there?
Yeah,
or?
so usually in our other international meets we have a Oceania kind of lunch or something that we all do together. So it's majority of the other islands that we all get together, have a lunch, get to speak with each other. Out of a pool environment, we all get to sit down and talk to all the other athletes or the other coaches, which is, again, something that we all really look forward to, just to see our bigger, small team. So something that we can't wait to do.
Yeah, that's really special, man.
Yeah.
You're like in the Northern Hemisphere, and all these teams come together. Yeah, millions of eyes will be in the Olympics, but how special is that to come together, from the corner of the world or the South Pacific Islands, they get to come together and
for sure.
be together, yeah.
For sure, and I take it because it's just you and Johan, the two of you. As they say, you're stronger in numbers, and there'll be some other swimmers from Fiji and Tonga and some other athletes in the water-based sports. And if you're able to connect with each other and support each other through, that's how we do things. You spoke about the Pacific Games and the opening and how excited you were for that. How do you think you'll be at the opening of the Olympic Games?
Probably even more. That's one of the most asked questions that I get. How excited are you for the opening? Very. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere and hopefully something that you can see me on TV.
For sure.
We'll be cheering.
Is there anyone in particular that you're excited to see or possibly meet?
Yeah, with swimming, it's difficult to put a name on it, especially because there are so many of them, and there are, different athletes in different situations. Some of them who have been to World Aquatics Championships that I've seen from afar. But I'm really excited to watch some of the other sports, because it's at the Olympic level, just to kind of watch everyone else. And yeah.
So you'll be staying in the Olympic Village with all the other athletes? Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah,
That's,
just see them walking by.
Man, see them walking past. Imagine
You're
all
like,
the Jamaican
"Whoa."
sprinters walking past you. Like,
Yeah.
these guys run in less than 10 seconds for the 100 meters. That's so cool.
Genuinely.
Olympics it comes around every 4 years. It's something that all the world stops to watch. Was this always something that you wanted to achieve as an athlete, as a swimmer, to reach the Olympic game?
Yeah. So when I was younger, it was obviously a big dream to kind of look forward to. But there's a very, very, very small percentage of people that do go. So it's kind of exciting that that I do get to live this out. And starting from a young age, everyone kind of always thought that the Olympics were the big dream. And
It's the peak, isn't it? It's the peak.
Yep, the top of it.
For most athletes, I suppose. Even rugby union, they've got sevens there now, and they've got breakdancing
Yeah.
at this year's
All the cool.
that year's Olympics. So, yeah, back in the day, I could have made Samoa team for that.
Still good.
Oh, man.
No, not with these old knees. Training now till you go? Do you have a date that you leave?
Yes, so I fly out on the 21st,
Oh.
and I'm going to be there for 3 weeks.
Exciting.
So yeah, very, very soon. But yeah.
Does the Samoa team go en masse, or do you meet all over there? Do you have to go to Samoa and meet the team and then go across to Paris, or is it just when you need to be there?
So I believe that most of them are flying out of Samoa, but Auckland is a stopover, so I can just hop on over. But yeah, we all going together, which is exciting. Get to meet the whole team on the plane. So we've got a team of 42, which is really big for us. So excited for that.
And who's the one everyone's chasing in your event? Do you know the swimmer that's out at front at the moment, and who everyone's trying to chop down?
Yeah, so for the 50 freestyle, we've got the world record holder at the moment. She is amazing. So her name is Sarah, and she is just the fastest sprinter. She was in Doha with us, and just back-to-back sprint races and won gold and everything. So she's really exciting to watch, and can't wait to watch her as well. Just to be in the same race as her is kind of cool.
Swimming is one of those events, and it baffles me sometimes. Not baffles, but I'm in awe sometimes when you guys have multiple events throughout a day. Mm-hmm. So you might have one in the morning and then another one 3 races later, and then another heat or another event. How do you manage that? How do you re-energise? How do you come back down? We spoke about getting that game face on and being up for the race. Mm-hmm. And I know from my experiences, you can't stay there all day.
All time. Mm-hmm.
You've got to come down a little bit. How do you do that? How do you peak, drop down, relax, and then go up again? How do you manage that?
Yep, lots of sugar, lots of lollies. That's it. It kind of just depends on your race and how you wanna race it. A lot of athletes will have a bit of downtime, listen to music, something, fuel, re-energize everything, but have to think about your warm down and warm ups between your races is a big thing. We really have to focus on that short period of time that we will be swimming, because it isn't very long. But yeah, so going straight up to straight down to right back up again is a difficult process. So you kind of have to learn and just have to do with swimming for so long. So when they're young, you can just push them out and do so much. So yeah. As
a young athlete, when you go into these big competition, you go into the Olympics, you said you're going to swim against the world record holder. What are you looking out for when you watch other athletes? If you want to pick up some things from the game, what do you usually look for to try to learn off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of it is just watching and learning. Everyone has different techniques. Everyone swims in a different way, different styles. So picking up little little things that you can put into your own, and kind of seeing what works for you is really important. Obviously, watching films and videos of everyone else is really cool because they are all doing completely different strokes. So kind of just making it into your own is something that you kind of do want to be looking out for, but also trying not to copy them too much because it is different for them. So you kind of really have to focus on yourself. But watching their stroke, watching what they do, their technique, their warm-ups are really exciting, especially looking at them from a completely outside perspective that you don't really see every day.
So from being the 16-year-old at your first Pacific Games to the young lady that's going to Paris, where do you see the biggest differences in yourself, both mentally and technique-wise, what Matty's asking?
Yeah. So I think the jump, when I took a little bit of a break, so I just kind of in the middle of COVID and towards the end, I was really not feeling too motivated about swimming, didn't really want to keep doing it. But again, my coach and the people around me were really supportive and kind of just keep motivating me to keep going. So I think that's kind of where I see the biggest jump from not loving the sport as much to really going full swing at it again, which is kind of what I really am looking forward to, seeing that big jump again that I'm really excited for. So.
Because you got to love it.
Yeah.
You got to love it to dedicate so much time into it. Is there any, sorry. Has there been any individual, either in swimming or in sport, that's been a real inspiration to you and sort of someone you've looked up to try and emulate either their behaviours or their feats?
Yeah. So my family is the biggest motivator. So both my grandparents, I see them and think that they've done a really great job with their sporting career, and especially with my brother is also a big motivator, even though he's younger than me, and he will be watching this and but yeah, he kind of pushes me as well to do my best, and yeah, which I'm really excited to kind of be on the big stage with him alongside this time because he his first international kind of thing. So yeah, it's really exciting for him and for me.
Is there some sibling competitive rivalry?
Oh, all the time, but that's why he won't go anywhere near the water, no water sports, because that's my area. So he's just really good at everything else.
Will you kick a football?
Oh, absolutely not. In the complete wrong direction. But yeah.
I mean, if you have a message, I guess, for any other young Pasifika woman or girls who will be watching you, you know, I was going to say lace up the boots, but put on the cap and put on the goggles, you know, at the Olympic Games, what would it be?
To just keep going, to keep trying, to do everything that you can, stay motivated and keep yourself happy with your sport. It's a really exciting thing that we do get to show the world what we can do, and I think it's really important that we do it and keep trying, keep pushing for our faces to be out there.
Well, going through all that and understanding how busy you are, we're less than a month away from the Olympics starting and getting underway. You'll be on the plane very, very soon. Again, congratulations for making the Olympic team and making your Olympic dream
Thank you.
come true. You have the support of everybody, not just in Samoa, but us here at PMN and everyone in the Pacific. And we wish you all the very best for your journey in Paris, and we'll be looking out for you for definite. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here, myself and Matty, on Overtime with Matty. It's been an extreme honour and a pleasure to have you join us, and we're very, very thankful. As normal, any last words from you?
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to have me here, so thank you.
So thank you for joining us once again. I hope you've enjoyed our latest episode with Matt Monacoa and myself, Willie Poaching, for Overtime with Matty. This has been Kaiya Brown. All the very best. Thank you very much. Till next week.
Peace.